Welcome back to Wake Up Carolina. For you that don't like the fact that I have some Democratic college professors on here to debate from time to time, you folks guarding the right field foul pole, you're really going to not enjoy this next segment.
And that we watch MSNBC in the studio on the television.
We keep it
here.
on MSNBC in the studio for, just to kind of keep this thing in some form of equilibrium. Somebody who I followed in my political life and political career is Chris Matthews. Chris is the host of Hardball with Chris Matthews, MSNBC. He is a political pundit, a political observant, someone who I think has a very informed opinion on American politics. He's celebrating his 20th anniversary of Hardball. He's with us this morning. Good morning, Chris. How are you?
Good morning, Dave. Thank you, and Ken.
20 years of hosting Hardball. I have agreed from time to time. I have disagreed profusely with some of your statements and political opinions. But what motivated you, Chris, to involve yourself in this crazy world of American politics?
Well, I was about 6 years old. I'm writing this book about my life for Simon & Schuster now, so I have to go back and remember all this stuff. But I was sort of one of these kids that, I was 6 years old, and I'm in a movie theater. In the old days when you go to the movies during the daytime, matinees, and I was with my dad. And some guy's in front of me on the newsreel. Remember newsreels? And a guy in a military uniform, looked very impressive guy, getting on a plane or something. And I go to Dad, who's sitting to my right. And I very clearly remember this. I said, "Is he president?" And Dad said, "Nobody will be." And he was talking about Dwight Eisenhower. Mm-hmm. And that's my earliest political memory. But then I just, for some reason, have been fascinated by it. Well, I was in grade school, first grade with the nuns, the Catholic school, and the nun is pointing with these big long pointers they used to use to hit you with once in a while, and she's pointing at a two-letter word on the platform, on the blackboard, U.S. And she says, "What's that word?" And I said, U.S. And she said, "No, what's the spell?" I said, U.S. And she kept getting madder and madder at me. She wanted me to say us. I said, "No, it's U.S." Because my brother and I, Bert and I, would be having war games all the time and out back of our house, and we were always having U.S. We were on the U.S. side. So for some reason, my brain always was thinking about the country, thinking about the United States and the world, and politically, and this has been true. I went to my first convention in 1964 in Atlantic City. I was a busboy, and I managed to BS my way in to a fundraiser, and I got to meet Adlai Stevenson and Gene McCarthy and Scoop Jackson and Humphrey and all these people. I just have been fascinated with it all of my life, just the way who I am.
Chris, let's fast forward to today's politics. I think it's a very interesting time in American history. I've listened to you and watched you over the past probably 4 or 5 years more closely than normal, but because we have an era of political discontent, and I understand the back and forth, the ebbs and flows. But the one thing you did that I found very interesting is when Donald Trump showed up as an announced candidate for president in a primary and then a general, you warned people to stop laughing. The expertocracy, the experts that sit around these coffee tables and tell their opinions. You were the one person that I paid close attention to because I consider you giving fair warning to those who were considering a bit of a novelty. But what led you down that road? What made you believe that there was a chance something different could happen?
Well, the average guy, male and female, looks up to a guy who makes a lot of money like that, who's kind of enjoys it. We don't like kind of stiffs who sit in the back room counting their money, but we damn well like people that make a lot of money and seem to be enjoying it. Sinatra, with all his bad behavior, people really looked up to him, and they said, "I want to be him. I want to be him. I want to be that guy with the beautiful wife. I want to be that guy. I want to be the guy who lives in a big gold building up in New York and has all these airplanes and his beautiful wife." And there's something about the American spirit. It's like a great Gatsby character out of literature. We look up to these guys. And you compare him to some bureaucratic stiff in Washington who you think of sitting behind their desk with a pencil or something. And also, I think that people were really sick of the Democrats' elitism. I mean, I hate it. I hate it all the time. If you can hear it in my voice. When I hear there's one more frickin' Carole King concert, one more salute to Meryl Streep, one more let's have another party about how great we are, let's salute Hillary Clinton one more time for how great she is. People go, wait a minute, that's an interesting party. I'll never be invited. So stop having so much fun. I'm never invited. You don't invite me to your parties. You're elite. And it's kind of a cultural elitism that I think Trump punctured right through. And people said, yeah, I'd rather him than those people.
Okay, follow-up question and last question. Once again, appreciate your time. Is the Trump phenomenon, whether you like it or not, is it a brush fire? Is it a raging fit? Is it a blip in the radar? Or is it a fundamental reset of the way we conduct politics in America?
Look, 89% of the Republican Party supports him. It's dramatic down the line. The reason Mitch McConnell supports him is because his people support him. I've never seen a party realign this fast and this solidly behind one person. I don't know whether there is Trumpism. I don't know if there is one. I hear rumors that Tucker Carlson may run. I don't know if Mike Pence is really a Trumpy. I think he likes working with the guy, and I think he's benefited from it. But I'm just going to answer it a little differently. I think Trump benefits from smart stuff he does, but I think he could go overboard. I think going after these African-American people in these big cities is going to pick off the white women suburbanite. It's going to generate more voting power by the people, the African-Americans in the big cities. I think he's pushing those numbers against him, and it makes it harder and harder for him to offset those numbers. I think if he cools it on that stuff, just sticks with the tax cuts, the deregulation, the sort of Make America Great theme, but don't go so nasty on it. I think he's got the accelerator down a little too far right now. So the thing is, will it last? If he wins the next election by one vote, it'll last. If he loses it by one vote, it won't. And then he'll have to run sort of a new TV network or something, some sort of government in exile type thing, not officially, but sort of politically. And then it won't last. It'll just be the minority voice. But, you know, he's got a chance to get reelected if he plays his cards right. I don't know why he doesn't play them a little more carefully, but yeah, if he's president for 8 years, that's a pattern. That's a direction.
Chris, we really appreciate your time. Hardball can be seen on MSNBC at what time?
7 o'clock every night for, I've been on 25 years with different names, but it's every night, and it's live, and it's always treacherous, and I never know if I'll say something wrong, but that's the way it is. But yeah, 7 o'clock at night on MSNBC tonight again.
Well, we appreciate you. Someone who vehemently disagrees more than I agree. I found you to always be a
vehement.
Well, I mean, you love America, you love politics. We have that in common. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate your time.
Thank you very much, Governor.
Absolutely.